Mike is going to give us in-depth information on one of his very favorite Shirley J products, the Bouillons. I can hardly wait to hear about this. Mike, why do you love this product so much?
Well, I tell you, if you are familiar with bouillon, I've got one in my little hand here. If you're familiar with bouillons at all, you can appreciate what a great product ours is. And let me just start by explaining bouillon in general.
Please.
Bouillon basically is a replacement for chicken or beef stock. We have two flavors of bouillon, by the way, chicken and beef.
Okay.
You can find bouillons and flavorings in different flavorings like seafood or vegetable. Ours are chicken and beef. So
Okay.
we'll talk about those two today first.
All right.
If you're making a soup and you need to have the flavor of chicken, what you're going to do is boil a chicken.
Right.
Okay? Or you're
messy, time-consuming.
Right. And you boil the chicken for hours and hours and hours, and you get all the flavoring out of the bones in the chicken and the vegetables that you put with it.
Sure.
And you simmer it down and down and down until the stock becomes flavorful and intense. Most restaurants years ago used to do this all the time. They would have a chicken stock pot, and they'd have a beef stock pot and a veal stock pot. And they would boil these bones and the vegetables for hours to get this intense flavoring, this water, this juice, this stock for use in their gravies and sauces and soups.
Okay.
Well, we do this now in a different way, and you can certainly still do that from home, but Shirley J Bouillons do the same thing. They allow you to have a chicken flavored or beef flavored stock that you can use in recipes for soups and sauces and gravies and all those kind of things. So if you go to the grocery store right now, Alice, this is another little application. You go to the grocery store and you go down the aisle where the soups are, you can sometimes find cans of, they call it chicken stock or chicken broth.
Right.
Sometimes you can find beef broth.
I buy them all the time.
Right. And then you bring them home and you stack them on your shelf, and they take up a fair amount of room.
They do.
When you open them, you usually have 8 or 10 ounces of broth flavored water, chicken flavored water, beef flavored water. And you use that in your soups, or maybe you put it in your stuffing for Thanksgiving, or you use it in recipes and sauces and gravies and things like that. If you're making a chicken gravy or something.
Expensive.
They are expensive, and they're cumbersome.
Yes.
Our chicken bouillon, our beef bouillon, allow you to do the same thing without buying those stocks, those canned stocks and flavorings, things like that. Let me tell you some of the really cool things about this. Our bouillon is basically a double concentrated bouillon. Now, if you're familiar with other commercial products that you can find in retail markets, I won't mention brands, but there's several of them out there that would compete with our product. Just pick up one of the products and look at the label on the back. The first thing that you'll notice is that the concentration level is usually 1 teaspoon per cup of hot water.
Right, yes.
And when you stir it in, and sometimes they're in little cubes wrapped in foil papers that you have to undo and drop it in, and then you dissolve them, and it takes forever to dissolve.
Yeah, very annoying.
Very annoying. And so it's 1 teaspoon per cup. Ours is a ½ teaspoon per cup.
Really?
A ½ teaspoon. So it's a double concentrated bouillon.
Wow,
Okay?
that's neat. How many servings are in this container here then?
Because of that concentration level, this little container that I'm holding in my hand has 181 servings in it. One cup serving.
181?
Yeah. So
That's
you can
amazing.
make a cup of soup for 181 people out of this this little product right here.
So cost per serving then, do I dare ask?
Just fractions of a penny. It's really very, very inexpensive per serving, and it's easy to use. It dissolves quickly in water. It stirs in nicely. You can if you want something with a real strong chicken flavor. If you're creating a soup that has a requirement to have a little bit stronger flavor, you can just add a little bit more in. If you want it to be a very light flavor note, you can just add a little bit less.
Well, now since we are talking bouillons, and we know this next question, do I dare ask, nutrition. What's even, can I talk about sodium?
You can talk about sodium.
Okay.
Again, I'm going to compare our product to the retail counterpart.
Okay.
If you look at the back of their product label again, you're going to find a very high sodium content. Ours is about half of the sodium content that you'll find in retail counterparts.
Oh,
so it's
wonderful.
it's double the concentration. It's half the sodium content. And not only that, you'll find that it's about half the price of the products that you buy in the grocery store.
That's terrific.
But I think the best part, Alice, is that this truly has a chicken flavor. And our beef product has a true beef flavor. Sometimes you'll buy commercial bouillons and you'll taste them and they're just so salty.
Yes,
That's
or they leave an aftertaste.
They do, and that's just an attempt to make a real true chicken flavor without using any chicken. And we actually have chicken, natural chicken and natural beef in our products, and so.
Well, that's a fresh breath of air.
Yeah. So these are really, really great products. They're easy to use. I mean, they just blend quickly into water. You can sprinkle this in. You can actually, one of the really cool things is you can use this in concert with our universal sauce to make a wonderful creamy chicken gravy. Ooh. Just sprinkle a little bit in our universal sauce when you bring it up, and it has that great chicken flavor. Maybe even cream of chicken soup. Cream of chicken soup, that's exactly how you make it.
Wow. So what are some things you like to do with this?
I'll tell you, I kind of use this a lot as a general flavor enhancer. Okay. If I'm making something that has any kind of a broth or stock base to it, if I'm making like a vegetable soup, the beef or the chicken addition to a vegetable soup is just a wonderful addition, and it doesn't always bring a real strong chicken flavor if you just sprinkle just a little bit in. It just gives a really nice flavor to it. It's so easy to use. You can use it in anything. Wow. I love it. And I use this a lot when we're making gravy, like Thanksgiving, when you make a Thanksgiving dinner at home and you're doing your gravy from scratch in the pan, and sometimes the amount of gravy that you have doesn't equal the amount of guests that you have, and so you need to stretch that gravy a little bit. Right. I take those nice drippings from the turkey pan and I make my gravy a little bit weaker because you don't have enough drippings, and then I use the bouillon to extend the gravy flavor. So you can make double the amount of gravy with the same amount of drippings by using just a little bit of our bouillon. That is very cool. One thing I like to do with bouillon, I think that you'll find that anything that you're doing, that what you want a chicken flavor or a beef flavor to strengthen, you can use this in. You can't quantify it. There's just so many uses for it. And that's Shirley J. That's the company right there. Now, I know that you try really hard to make sure that through your packaging and your ingredients that you've got a good shelf life. What's the story on this product? This product, truthfully, I mean, this can last about as long as you can store it. Okay. The one thing that you don't want is you don't want to get it in a lot of direct sunlight. Okay. And once you open it, you expose it to oxygen. But even after you do that, this product will sit on the shelf for a long, long time. You may notice a little discoloration if you have it in the sunlight, and you may be a little bit worried about the age of it, but the only thing that could ever happen to this, if you kept it on the shelf for a long time, is the flavor intensity might decrease just a little bit. But this is another one of those great products that could sit on the shelf for a long time, but probably never will. No, it won't happen. What have you done with your Shirley J bouillons? Well, any MSG? Everybody wants to know that. Absolutely not. This is true with all of our Shirley J products. No added MSG in anything. So you can be sure that everything that you get is just the way you want it to be. That's wonderful. I have to just make one observation really quick that you haven't touched on that just hit me as we were talking about using this product now instead of buying all those cans of chicken and beef broth. Talk about green. Oh, absolutely. Everybody's talking about going green. How cool is that? Yeah, absolutely. Think of all the cans that you can eliminate. 181, well, more than that, probably 360 cans that you can eliminate with this one small bottle. And not only the can use, but the storage space in your cupboard. Yeah, gosh, any homemaker's going to love that. This has been fun. Now, if you want to know more about these or any other Shirley J products, and if you'd like recipes to go along with these great bouillons, just go to the website shirleyj.com. And until next time, happy cooking.